Okay, hello everybody. This is Alan Attitude, Technology Training Coordinator with the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning at CETL here at Madison College. Today's webinar is PowerPoint 2013 Tips and Tricks. We're going to go over some tips and tricks in a moment, but I want to lay down some ground rules before we get started. First of all, this is a live webinar hosted on YouTube. Anything can happen, including technical failures. If anything crashes, I will try my best to get things up and running again. Second thing is that because I'm doing this on YouTube, there is a 30-second lag between when I say something and when it appears on your screen. If you ask any questions, please ask questions. You can use the chat, you can email me, you can give me a call, you can even text me. But if you ask a question, I may not receive it right away. Or I may receive it and it may not pertain to what I was going through at the particular time. That's all right. If you have a question, please send them. I will have a space at the end of the webinar for Q&A. Now let's go ahead and get started. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Chat, email, give me a call, send me a text message. Any venue is fine. Let's get the show on the road. All right, so what we have here, we have an empty screen and we're wondering, hey, where's PowerPoint? Well, this first trick that I want to show you is about a Word document. Let me go ahead and open up this Word document that I have here. Minimize this for a moment. You may be wondering why I'm starting off in a Word document and not directly in PowerPoint. Well, that is because you can do an outline inside of a Word document and bring that into PowerPoint. As you can see, I got a PowerPoint presentation, or I got a Word document here that I'm going to bring into a PowerPoint presentation. Inside this particular Word document, I've added styles to different parts. I have editing here, and if we take a look in the styles group, it says heading 1. Word into PowerPoint, it says heading 2. In order for this to work, you do need to use styles. You can't use regular text. Regular text will not import into PowerPoint so well. So we're going to go ahead and put this inside of PowerPoint. I'm going to close this out. Then I'm going to open up PowerPoint. Let's take a little moment to start up. I'm going to start with a blank presentation. And then I'm going to go into File. Then I'm going to open my presentation. And I want to open it from my computer. It remembers this was the last folder that I was in. Now, when I open up that folder, that Word document is not showing up. That is because it's by default, it's looking for PowerPoint presentations. If I want to bring in my Word document, I have to change this little drop-down menu so that it says All Files. Once I switch it to All Files, then I'm able to click on my Word document. I'm able to open it up. And now that Word document has imported into my PowerPoint presentation. So that is a quick trick. If you like to start things off in Word, get your thoughts together, that is one way that you can outline a presentation and then you could finesse it later. There are some cool things that we're going to go over. We're going to go over different editing aspects of PowerPoint. We are going to go over different ways that you can utilize Presenter View and the different tools that are available to you when you're presenting. And we're going to talk about alternative ways about presenting, like recording a slideshow with a voiceover, optimizing your media, saving it to OneDrive, even how to present live and export this thing out to a movie. But first, let's go into our next topic, which is animating objects with the painter. Let's see, Animation Painter. Now, there may be times where you have a variety of different objects and you spent a lot of time animating one particular object. I got the star here. I wanted to fly in, but I wanted to fly in from the left, and I want it to be really fast. I want it to be a quarter of a second long. Well, if I wanted to do the same animation for these particular objects, I would normally have to click on the object, click fly in, adjust the settings, and that could waste a lot of time. So I'm going to go back to the object that has the animation applied to it. The way that I can tell it has an animation applied to it is that it has the number 1 here in the upper left hand corner. Then from there, I'm going to click, I'm making sure I'm working inside the animations tab. Then from there, I'm going to go to the advanced animation group and then click animation painter. If I click that one time, my mouse changes into a little mouse cursor with a brush. If I click the second object, it will paste all those settings onto that object. I am going to go back to my first object. I'm going to hit animation painter again. I'm going to click on the third object. Do it again for the fourth object. It gives me a little preview and it remembers the sequence that I was clicking in, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's very nice, very handy, but what if I want one animation to be applied to all my different objects on my slide? I could go back, click animation painter button, click, click animation painter button, click again, or I could let animation painter do all the work. If I wanted to get all these 3 objects with the same animation, I highlight the animated object that I created. Then instead of clicking one time, I'm going to click twice. That locks in the animation painter brush. So I could go 1, 2, 3. Apply that same animation to all the objects on my slide. When I'm done using the animation painter brush, I hit the escape key on my keyboard and watch what happens when I hit the escape key on my keyboard. Watch the mouse cursor, which is right here. Mouse cursor returns back to its original shape. So the animation painter, real handy tool, especially if you're trying to animate a lot of stuff on your PowerPoint slide. I'm going to close this out, not going to save it. I'm going to make this available to you so you have something to play around later on. Next thing I'd like to show you is how you can match colors with the color picker. So let's open up the color picker presentation. And if you're struggling to take notes, there will be a handout associated with this in addition to these files that I'm working with. It's just taken me a little while longer to develop them. I should have them by the end of this week at the latest. Earliest by the end of the day, latest by the end of this week. So you can sit back, relax, enjoy your lunch, and check things out. So with the color picker, you may want to pull a color from a picture, from an object, from a logo, to try to keep things looking uniform. I got this orange square, but the student here is wearing this nice blue shirt. I want to pull a color from the shirt. So how do I do that? Well, give me 1 second to adjust my ribbon. Well, I gotta highlight the object that I want to change the color to. In this case, it's this orange square. When I click on it, it automatically selects the Drawing Tools Format tab for me. Then I go to Shape Fill. And then I got all these default colors that I could try to match the color to. This one's really close, this one's a little closer, that's way too dark. Well, if I want to choose a color that will work for me, I can choose the eyedropper tool, and then I move my mouse over a particular portion of the picture. Notice as I move my mouse, there's a little eyedropper with a little square. That little square shows what color I am selecting. Now I am trying to find a nice deep color. There we go. That is a nice deep color. It even tells us the color dark teal. If I click here, the orange square will turn to that color that I selected. Not only will this work for objects, but this will work for text as well. If I click here, I could change the color of this text. I highlight the text. When I highlight it, this box appears. I click on the font color, and then I got the eyedropper tool. I'm gonna click, try to find a similar spot. That's good. Click, and the text has changed to that same color. It's a great way if you're trying to make a presentation, but make it look uniform, make it look like it has the same color palette as the object that you're using, as the picture that you're using. Very handy tool. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Not gonna save this. Another thing that I want to show you is how to use multiple templates in one presentation. There may be times where you want to change things up a bit, or you want to just change things up a bit. You're tired of the same template. You want to add a little flair, a different background, let's say. So let's go ahead and do that with this particular slide. This one has a nice blue background, but let's say on the next slide I want something different. I click on my next slide, and here I want a nice red background. How can I turn that one slide, how can I make that one slide have a different background? Well, I want to make sure that I have the slide selected, not an object here, but the slide selected here. Then I go into the Design tab, and it gives me a couple options. Why isn't it giving me the variants? Okay. Usually, when I do this, it will also give me something called the variant, which are different color selections that I can choose from. But right now it's not giving me these little squares. Like I said, this is live, anything can happen. So I'm going to click down here to where it says more, and then I can go to background styles. It's not giving me any red there, so I'm going to go to colors. This is much easier if you have those squares here, but I'm going to go to colors, and I'm going to try to find something with a nice red background. Is it going to happen? Doesn't look like it. So give me 1 second. I'm not going to save this. I'm not going to save this for the moment, but I am going to reopen this back up. And I want to see if, there they are. See, I told you. So start from the top again. I want to add a nice red background. I make sure that my slide is selected here in the navigation pane. Slide navigation pane. Then I go up here to the Design tab. Then I go to Variants. I mouse over the different colors, and it gives me different options. I like this nice red background. If I click on it now, what's going to happen is it's going to change all my slides. If you take a look on the left hand side, everything turned red. I'm going to do an undo shortcut, Control Z, to bring back that blue background. If you want to just change out one slide or a group of slides, make sure they're highlighted. Right click on what you want to use, then select Apply to Selected Slides. Now we notice here on the left column, I got my blue background, I got my red background, but for this particular slide, I want to include a new theme. Not a variant of the theme that I'm using, but a brand new theme. To do that, I make sure that the slide or slides are highlighted. Then I go over here to themes and I mouse over different themes that I want to use. I like this one. So I'm going to right click on it. Then I'm going to select apply to selected theme, selected slides. So you can have multiple backgrounds and multiple themes within the same presentation. If you want to add a new slide, it remembers what type of themes you've been using and will give you choices so that you can keep consistency with your presentation. Something cool, a little thing to change things up a bit. I'm not going to save that. Let's go ahead and open up this here. So we talked about multiple templates in one presentation. Okay, I am looking at the YouTube feed, and I'm sorry, Kathy, there's no eyedropper tool for the Mac. At least I haven't seen it in that particular version. The Mac version has been recently updated to 2016. So the school is still looking into sending it out to people, but I don't know when exactly we're going to get it. So for this moment, it's not, the eyedropper tool is not part of the Mac version. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is fitting an image into a shape. Let's go ahead and minimize this. So you may have a photo and you may want to crop into it, but a crop just leaves you with a square or a rectangle. You might want to change things up a bit. Maybe you want a circle instead. Well, when I click on the picture that I want to crop into, it pulls up the Pictures Tools Format tab. Then I go to, make sure I'm actually inside of it by clicking on it. Then I go to Crop. But I don't click the crop button, I click the word crop. Whenever I click the word of a button, sometimes it will give me more options. When I click the word crop, it gives me the ability to crop or to crop to a shape. I'm going to click OVO, and there it is. But I don't like the oval, I wanted a circle. So let's change this. I'm going to crop into my picture. If you want to change the width or length of your shape, you just make sure that your picture is highlighted. Then you click the crop button. You'll see these little things pop up, these little black handles. You just click and drag them until you get your desired shape. Don't worry about the picture, worry about the shape first. If you want a true shape, like a true square or a true star or a true circle, hold down the Shift key and then click and drag on any one of these black corners. That will, whoops. There we go. That will help keep your shape. When you're happy with that, with the way the shape looks, then you take your picture, then you click and drag inside the shape, take your picture, and then move it to the position that you want. When you are done, click the crop button one more time, and there it is. From here, you can move the picture anywhere you want on your slide. You can resize it if you like. And then continue creating your presentation. This one is a PC only thing as well. This is the ability to add online video to your presentation. Now, when you add video, there's a couple ways of doing it. You can go to the Insert tab, click Media, or look in the Media group, click Video, and then select Online Video. If you are using a template and you see these buttons, you can access the same thing by clicking the Insert Video button. Normally, in order to insert a video inside of PowerPoint, you would need to bring it in from your computer. That's not the case anymore. You can bring it in from YouTube, or you can use a video embed code. Well, I'm going to search YouTube for CETL Madison College. And it's actually searching YouTube for CETL at Madison College. And we just picked the one that we want to use. Here's a good one featuring Nancy and Tina. Select one video and then click the Insert button. I am going to stretch this out, and then I'm going to place it evenly in my slide. It will not play back here. It will play back inside your slideshow. So I'm going to click the Start Slideshow button. It's going to take a moment for the computer to realize that this is a YouTube video. Then when I click the play button, it should play back. Usually it behaves much better than this. Okay, I'm going to hit the escape key to hop out of playback. Then I'm going to hit the escape key one more time to get back into my editing mode. Now you can add a video via an embed code. You may have videos that you share, that you show, that you already researched and you like to use. You can put them inside a PowerPoint presentation. I am going to go to this link here. Then I'm going to open up Chrome. You can use any web browser for this, but I like to use Chrome on a PC. And check it out. This is us. Sorry, I'm geeking out. Inside of YouTube, if you scroll down to the bottom of the video, there is a share button. And when you click share, it gives you the option to share a URL or to get an embed code. This is what I'm going to copy. Right click and copy. I'm going to go ahead and close this out for the moment. I'm going to click that same button here, Insert Video. But rather than searching YouTube, I'm going to paste it here. Paste from a video embed code. If you have a video from Vimeo or other video sharing sites, you can use the embed code. You're not limited to YouTube, but as long as you have the embed code, you should be fine. Insert that into my presentation. Resize this however big I want it to be. Position it wherever I want it to be. And when I play this back inside the slideshow, that is so cool. This is the delay that I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm geeking out. I'm gonna hit escape to hop out of here. I hit escape one time to stop the playback. I hit escape again to get back to the editing mode of PowerPoint. That's how you can add an online video to your presentation. There is a caveat to this though. You do need an internet connection that is powerful enough to play back that online video. If you don't have an internet connection, the video will not play back. So we're going to make a photo. We're going to take a photo. We're going to delete portions of it so we have a transparent background to that photo. You may find a picture online, or you may have a picture and you want to use it inside your presentation. You bring it in and it appears like this. It's okay. I'm not going to judge you if you leave it alone, but you can make this look better. This works with pictures that have a nice, clear background. I'm going to select the picture. Then I'm going to click the Picture Tools Format tab that appeared. Then I'm going to click Remove Background. The computer will guess what it is that I want to keep and what it is that I want to delete. Anything in this deep kind of pink purple will be deleted. I see that I got some of this green part of the scissors that's going to be deleted. I don't want that. I want to keep the scissors and get rid of the white background. So I am going to stretch out this little square. Stretch out these little squares because that is the binding box that tells PowerPoint what it is that you want to crop into. So now only the white part of my photo is highlighted. If I'm happy with that and I want to get rid of it, I will hit this button here, Keep Changes. This tab will only appear when you're editing your picture using the background removal tool. So I'm going to click Keep Changes. And there it is. That white background is gone. This does not work with all photos. I'm going to bring up a photo that is very hard to work with. The reason why it's very hard is that there's a lot of different color variations in the background. There's a lot of small details that could really affect how I edit this. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to zoom in here. In the lower right hand corner there's a zoom tool. I just clicked and dragged it to the right to zoom in. I'm going to select my photo. Then I'm going to click the Picture Tools Format tab. Then I'm going to click Remove Background. See, PowerPoint's having a hard time trying to decide what you want to keep and what you want to delete. If you want to try to finesse it so that it keeps the stuff that you want and deletes the rest, you can use the manual tools to mark what you want to keep and what you want to remove. I'm going to click this button, Mark Areas to Remove, and then I'm going to try to draw a line here, draw a line here, draw a line here, and draw a line here. I'm going to click Keep Areas to Keep, and then I'm going to try to make a line that goes along the chain link fence because I want to keep that. Now it tries to decide what I want to keep, and yeah, I do want to keep this portion of the fence, but I do not want to keep the inside portion of that fence. So I'm going to click the Mark Areas to Remove, click and highlight, then I'm going to keep clicking and keep marking areas that I want to keep. As you can see, this could be a very long and tedious process. A lot easier to use than Photoshop though. Ah, there we are. So let's go ahead and mark this here. You see, with each new area that I mark that I want to keep, it thinks that I want to keep extra stuff as well, and I'm telling it no, so on and so forth. I can click keep changes, and then it will keep just that portion. I don't have a lot of time to show you how to edit this picture all the way, but you get the idea. All right, the last thing we're going to show you about editing is screenshots, how to add a screenshot. Not going to save this. Now, you may be creating a document, or you may be promoting a website, and you want to get a screenshot and put it inside your presentation. Used to be that you used to use the snipping tool, or if you had Snagit, you could use Snagit or any other tool that will allow you to take a screenshot. Well, you don't have to use those tools anymore. It's built into PowerPoint. If I go to Insert, and then go into the Images group, there's this option for a screenshot. This option is not located here inside the template. It's only located inside Insert, Screenshot. When I click the Screenshot button, it should show me all the available windows that I have, including my Word window. There it is. And my File menu. I'm going to click my Word window. If you're having a hard time figuring out what it is that you're selecting, just move your mouse over it, pause for a second, and then it will tell you. Select the window that you want, and there it is. I'll hold down the Shift key, click and drag to make this a little bigger, bring it in, there. So that's how you can add a screenshot to your presentation. I'm not going to save this. Now, well, we're going to go into some presenting tips for you. We're going to go over presenter view, what that is, the pen and highlight tools, as well as the zoom in mode inside the presentation, inside the presenting mode. Uh-oh. Come on, you could do it. Thank you. So for this, I have to go inside my presentation. And just to let you know, I am broadcasting from one computer. I don't have two screens. Usually when you use presenter view, you are hooked up with your computer and a projector or a second monitor. But the thing is about using presenter view, sometimes when you plug your computer into a projector or a monitor here at Madison College, it may not pop up with presenter view because not all classrooms are set up for two monitors, even though they may look like it. So if you want to go through presenter view to preview your presentation, to see how long it takes you to get through a particular slide, to see what's next, this is what you do to enable presenter view if you only have one monitor, like the setup that I have now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up my mouse just by moving it around. I'm going to right click, whoops, then I'm going to select show in presenter view. I only have one monitor. This usually pops up automatically when you have two monitors connected to your machine. Now what's really cool about presenter view is that it's great for practicing your presentation. You get to see how long you've been talking for, get to see the current time, you get to see what's next, the next slide, and you get to see notes. If you use the notes section of your presentation, you get to see it here. Now, in order to advance to the next slide, I would do it normally how I normally do. If you hit the space bar, hit the space bar. If you click on the mouse, click on the mouse. If you hit the right arrow on your keyboard, do that. Nothing changes from advancing the next slide. It just hit the button that you use and it will bring it up. Now, not only can you see your next slide, but you can also see what animation is coming up next. Here I have a black screen. In an upper right hand side, it says next animation. If I advance my slide, the animation plays back and it shows me the next one and the next one. So it's a very handy tool for letting you know what's happening next. Very handy, especially if you have an hour-long presentation that you have to give and you don't want to get lost. Next thing we're going to talk about is the laser pointer, the highlighter, and the pen tool. These tools are available to you through Presenter View and through the regular presentation view. I'm going to show you how to do this through Presenter View first. Then I'm going to switch over to the full screen presentation and show you how you can access the same tool. So for the laser pointer, you can access that tool in the lower left hand side of your presentation. You see these different icons here. See the one with the pen. You click laser pointer, you get this little dot. It acts like a laser pointer. Then you can show off what it is that you want to show off inside your presentation. And when you're done, click the tool, then click laser pointer, and it goes away. I'm going to get out of presenter mode, presenter view, by right-clicking on my slide and selecting hide presenter view. That way it will take me to the full screen presentation view. I'm going to move my mouse around. You may notice that we have the same buttons here in the lower left hand side. If I click the one that looks like a pen, I get the laser pointer button, and then I don't have to click anything. I just move my mouse around. When I'm done, uh-oh, my presentation is stuck. There we go. Go back to the tool, select the tool, and then it goes away. Now, in addition to the laser pointer, you have the highlighter button. I'm going to select highlighter, and it looks like the tip of a highlighting pen. If you want to highlight something, just click and drag it across whatever it is that you want to highlight. And it behaves very much like a regular highlighter. This tool is available to you when you're inside Presenter View. So I'm going to right-click, Show Presenter View. That same tool is available here. Click on the pen icon, then select Highlighter. You can change the color of the highlighter by clicking on the tool and then selecting a different ink color. Why is it turning green? Because yellow and blue make green. Oh, there we go. There we go. In addition to that, we have a pen tool. I'm going to change the color of this to white. And then you can use it to mark up your presentation. And again, this tool is available when you're in the full screen presentation. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to hide presenter view. The highlighter tool and the pen tool are available to you through this little button here in the lower left hand side. So what happens when you exit your presentation and you've highlighted stuff and you've annotated stuff? Well, let's do that. I'm going to hit the escape key. And it asks, do I want to keep all these annotations? And yes, I do. I want to keep them. That way, they're saved inside my presentation. They appear as objects so I can move them around, change them up, or delete them. So if you make annotations to your presentation live in the middle of a show, you can keep those annotations when you end the show. I am going to go into the zoom in tool next. The zoom in tool is very handy when you want to show off something in your presentation. Now, this is a very busy picture. This is one of those pictures where you have to find the object. And let's try to find a guitar. Imagine that you're sitting in the back of the room. The presenter brings up this picture and asks you to find a guitar. We may not be able to see it for those of us that sit in the back. How can we zoom into the photo so that everyone can see it and not disrupt your slideshow? We use this magnifying glass. This is the zoom slideshow button. When I click on it, it dims out part of the presentation, and everything that is not dimmed out, everything that remains true, will appear bigger. I'm going to click here, and now we get to see a more focused part of your presentation. If I move my mouse around, notice how the mouse cursor has changed icons from a mouse pointer to a little hand. Now we bring that back up because it disappeared on me. There we go. Well, that little hand tells me if I want to move around while I'm being zoomed in, I just click and hold and then drag around till I see the guitar, or find whatever it is I'm looking for, or showing off a different part of my slide. And for those of you playing at home, the guitar is located here. I'm going to hit the escape key one time to get out of zoom view. Looking at the picture this way, it's very hard to find the guitar. Using the zoom tool, I'm able to zoom into a portion of my presentation. Then I'm able to point out details that can really help out people find different parts of my slideshow. Very good for graphs, charts, these type of pictures where there's a lot of detail happening. And again, just like with the pen tool, the highlighter tool, this is available inside Presenter View. I'm going to right click, click on Show Presenter View, and that tool is right here. If I click that, it behaves the same way. I click here and I'm able to go in and move stuff around, show stuff off, so on and so forth. So I'm going to hit the escape key to hop out of here. And those are some cool things that you can do while presenting. There we go. So now we're reaching toward the end of our presentation. I want to show you how you can record a slideshow with a voiceover, how to optimize your media, if you got video or audio inside of it, save it to OneDrive, present this presentation live from your computer, and how to export this as a movie. Now, this is an older PowerPoint that I did, and I need to update it for the 2013 version, but the basics are still there. When you want to narrate a PowerPoint presentation, people assume that you hop into PowerPoint right away. That is not true. Well, you actually have to start off with your audio. When you do your recording, you want to use a USB headset. Try to stay away from using the built-in microphone on your computer because it will sound tingy, it will sound like you're far away, and if you have a laptop and you use your microphone on the laptop, you'll get a lot of this. A lot of clickety click 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 whenever you click through your presentation. So once you got your headphones set up, give me a moment. Sorry folks. I thought I had one set up already. Let me go ahead and set one up. I'm going to plug in a USB right now. So what you're going to do is to set up your microphone, you want to go back down to the speaker icon here, right click on it, then select Playback Devices. Your USB headset should have a green check mark next to it. If it doesn't, select it and then click the Set Default button. The button is grayed out because it's already the default device on this machine. Once you make sure that that is set up, go to the Recording tab and make sure that the headset here is the USB headset or the USB microphone that you're using, and it has a green check mark. If it doesn't, highlight it, then click the Set Default button. Before you get started though, you need to make sure that you have the right audio levels, that it's recording loudly without overdoing it. So you want to make sure this is highlighted, click Properties, then go to Levels. Depending on the type of microphone that you have, you may see that this has been set to 70 or 100%, and you may have some other options. This one here is the most important one because you want it to be loud, but you don't want it to be too loud so that it sounds like this every time you speak. That's good enough. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm able to record my presentation. Tips for recording: make sure your presentation is in its final draft, because if you do any edits, it may throw off the timing for that one slide. Make sure that you have all your animations and your transitions in place before you start recording. When you're ready to record, hit the slideshow button, then click Record Slideshow. Earlier in this webinar, I talked about clicking the word and not the icon. The same goes for here. It's a general rule of practice inside of PowerPoint, because when you click on the word, sometimes you get more options. You can start the recording from the beginning, or you can start from current slide. When I click this button, something's going to happen. You're going to see a recording window in the upper left hand side. It's going to show you how long you've been recording, and then it's going to show you how long the presentation is. When you do a recording, say whatever it is that you're going to say, pause for a moment, then advance to the next slide. This is a great tool. It's an easy tool. It's a free tool. But if you keep talking, advance, and keep talking again, you're going to get cut off. So what you want to do is take a breath, advance, then start up again. When you're done recording, hit the escape key on your keyboard. Now, if you want to re-record a slide, you can. You just select the slide that you want to re-record. Go up to the slideshow tab, click the words Record Slideshow, and select Record from Current Slide. Follow the instructions that pop up on screen. Do your recording for that one slide, and at the very end of when you're done, hit the escape key. Do not advance. Hit the escape key and it will replace the audio and the settings for that one slide. This already has a recording on it. So what I'm going to do, I am going to play back this with the recording on it. I may cut out for a moment just to let you know. If it goes silent, please hang tight. Okay, sorry folks, it looks like it's not playing back here. But let me see if I can get that going. I'm going to hit the escape key. Make sure that this is loud enough. Okay. And then I am going to make sure that it's playing back through my speakers. Back to playback devices. Set that as default. Because of my setup and the way that I do webinars, it's going to act a little funny. Let's go ahead and try this again. I'm going to play this back from current slide. Okay, it doesn't seem like the audio is transmitting, so I'm sorry about that. Usually it does work, and it works really well. So what happens? I know it doesn't seem like it does, or it does, but it does work well. So what happens when you want to share this? Well, you might want to optimize the media. This is very handy if you bring in a video that was stored on your computer and put it inside your presentation. You go to File, and it automatically brings you to the Info tab. You got a couple of options. One is Optimize Media Compatibility and to compress media. If you click this button and let it do its thing, what it's doing, it's going through your audio, it's going through your video, and making sure that it's compatible with most systems. PC or Mac. That's what the Optimize Compatibility button does. It compresses them so it will play back. If you need your document to be compressed even further, you can compress the media so that it plays back well in front of a computer. Or my favorite option is internet quality, and I'll give you a reason why in a moment. Okay. When I select internet quality, it tells me it's already been compressed. That's good. I'm going to save this one time to save those settings. The reason why I like to use internet quality is that I can put this, I'm going to save this as, I could put this on my OneDrive. OneDrive is a cloud storage solution from Microsoft. It takes a while for it to save there, but I am going to save it there. Cool thing about OneDrive is that once you save it to OneDrive, the file will travel with you, and you can have access to that file wherever you go. Now, while that is uploading, I am going to access that file from OneDrive. Google has Google Drive, Apple has iCloud, Microsoft has OneDrive. Now, because I'm using a madisoncollege.edu address, it's asking if I'm using it with my personal account or for business. Right now, we don't have access to OneDrive here at the school yet. There's talks about using it here at the school. When it's going to be deployed, if ever, I have no idea. So I'm going to use my personal account. I'm going to sign in. Then I'm going to find my presentation. Is it done uploading yet? Yep, there it is. I open it up. It's playing back the audio. When I advance to the next slide, it plays back that slide. If I had any animations or any transitions, they would appear here. I'm waiting for the first transition to pop up. I'm actually gonna go here. One of the things that you could do from here is that you could create a link so that people could share it with people. You could even get an embed code so that you can put it inside the Blackboard or another place. Just copy the code and then put it inside your course or put it inside your blog or website or wherever. Close that out. If I wanted to present this live online from my computer, I can do so. If I go to File, Share, I can email this presentation if I want. I could get a sharing link here because I have it connected to OneDrive, or I could present online. Now I have this option for Skype for Business showing up. If you don't have that program loaded on your machine, you can select Office Presentation Service. It's a free public service that allows you to share the slideshow with a URL. I'm going to hit this button, Present Online, and it's asking me, do I want people to download my presentation? No, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and connect. It's connecting to the service, and then once it's done, it will give me a URL that I can give to other people. And then I'm able to present my presentation from my computer to people via the URL. It's a very handy tool. I'm going to hit cancel here to get out of that because we're running low on time. Last thing I want to show you is how to export this as a video. If I select, if I go to File to bring up all my different options, I go to Export, then I can create a video. If you do a voiceover for your presentation, this will preserve the recorded timings and the narration to your presentation, as well as any animations and transitions. When I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and create my video. And this is what it looks like when it's done. Let's see, where is my playlist? There. It looks exactly like that PowerPoint presentation, but only it's been shrunk down to a video. If I go ahead here, I can scroll through like any other video. Is there an animation popping up soon? Preserves the animations and transitions. So there we have it, folks. It's 12:59. I'm going to hang out here for a little while. If you have any questions, please type them inside the chat box. Hello again. Please type them inside the chat box. Please email me. I'm checking my email right now to see if anyone emailed or left a message. And it doesn't look like anyone left a message there. I'm going to type into the chat box to see if anyone has any questions. And I'm just going to hang tight for a moment. Sorry for the shake. I'm looking at the video playback. I'm doing a video off a laptop, and as I type, it shook. Well, I'm not receiving any questions through the chat. I'm not receiving any questions through my email. So I thank you for attending. If there are any questions after the fact, you know how to reach me. All right? Take care.